undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world. From Omaha, Nebraska.
In favor of the winner, remaining undefeated, proving he is one of the elite champions of the sport.
The fight is over. Canelo gets the knockout.
Deontay Wilder has eradicated Dominic Brazil. He is the
Come across that way. I think people will say, why didn't they fight each other? And blame both guys, to be honest with you. Because the first negotiation, we were against the blood test, and it was kind of our fault that the first time it didn't work. Because the first negotiation, we were against the blood test, and it was kind of our fault that the first time it didn't work.
Yo. You know what this is, man. It's your favorite channel, man. It's CTB. It's your Chin Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. Say what up to him, man.
What's up, everybody? Remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification button, comment. Let's keep this channel growing. You know why? Because we love boxing and you love boxing.
Most definitely. If you enjoy the content, please put a like on hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Follow us, man. We're a growing channel, trying to continue to grow. And comment in the comment section, man. Let us know how you think. Let us know your opinion on the topics. Speaking of the topics, man, what's the topic for today, bro?
Been a lot of talk about Errol Spence injury and if he's ducking or is it an excuse not to fight. So I thought we could, put an interesting twist on it that you came up with. So I'll let you tell the people what we're gonna talk about today.
Most definitely, man. Chop it up. Yeah, man. It's number one. It confused me. Not only did it confuse me, but I didn't see it coming. When Errol Spence pulled out of the fight because of the injury, I did not see that coming. You just finished saying behind the scenes a second ago. I assumed if somebody was going to pull out, it would have been Pacquiao for COVID. I thought he was going to wind up catching COVID because of the way he trains and the amount of people he has around him training. So I was surprised that Errol pulled out of the fight with the injury. I was surprised about the injury. And two, I was surprised about the backlash that Errol got from having an injury. I never thought, when I posted on our Facebook page, I never thought that people would accuse him of ducking. Like I did not see that coming. I thought that was the farthest thought from my mind, to be honest. That was like the farthest thing from my mind. But apparently, the Pacquiao fans has no end of their casualism. So it had me thinking, man, if they accusing Spence of ducking because of an eye injury out of the fight, I wonder how they feel about the years that Pacquiao kept Mayweather on the shelf. How he was turning down, drug testing and making up excuses about having tattoos, about being scared of needles, but he got tattoos. And, all those years, it was years wasted of that fight just to go out in there and pretty much only land 91 punches. So I was curious, man. What was your thought about it? How you think about that, man?
I thought it was an interesting dynamic that you came up with because, like you said, it's been mostly the Pacquiao fans. And I think I call it the PBC haters. Like they hate Wilder, they hate Spence. So anybody with PBC, if they have any kind of, if they lose or if an event gets canceled, it's like, they're overly excited for some reason. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. But that was interesting to me because the guy has a serious eye injury that if he didn't get it fixed, it could end his career or even blind him. And pretty much he's already came out. He said there's a 3 or 4 week recovery period, and he's gonna get right back to training. And he wants the winner of Ugas and or either Pacquiao. And I got to thinking about what you said, and like you said, when it came to Olympic style testing, he didn't want to do it. He said no. When it came to Olympic style testing, he said because of needles, even though he had tattoos. And people just pushed it to the side to the point that Pacquiao fans were saying, man, even if the man on steroids, just fight him. And I was like, what the hell? Like, are you serious? Like, this is a sport where people can get killed, can end up in a coma, can never be the same, and they're taking blows to their head that can cause trauma later down the line. And you want them to fight somebody that's on steroids? Maybe. I'm not saying Pacquiao's on steroids, but allegedly, if he was, you want him to get in the ring and fight this guy. But he's scared of a needle. But a guy that has an injury to his eye and can go blind is making excuses when it's pretty much set in stone from what I've heard that sometime beginning of next year he'll be fighting to win anyway. And why would he duck out the fight to turn down the biggest payday of his career, and also to have Manny Pacquiao on his resume that's gonna catapult him to superstar level, Canelo level? Why would he turn that down? It just didn't make any sense from his side.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I wanna chop down a lot of the Pactoids, how I call them. I want to chop down a lot of their reasoning behind why they think he ducked. A lot of them saying because he's seen clips of Pacquiao training and the rumors of Pacquiao knocking out 2 sparring partners and blah 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 blah. Those are absolutely false. Like you said, the reason was because Pacquiao will be his largest payday. It would have put Errol Spence in stardom. But also, looking at Pacquiao's last fight against Keith Thurman, that is the important. Rumors are rumors in training. Like what happens in training usually stays in training unless somebody wanted to leak it, or it was like Tyson Fury Wilder situation where it's just so obvious that anybody can see it. Those things are leaked in sparring or in training camp. So if I'm Spence, I'm not paying those any mind anyway. But I am watching the film on Pacquiao's last 2 fights, which was what was the last 2 fights? Adrian Broner and Keith Thurman. In both those fights, he had the same outcome. He started good early and gassed a little bit late. So if I'm Errol Spence, I see that. I'm not worrying about who he's knocking out in sparring and all those other type of things. I'm about to get the biggest payday to be in a war, because like he said before the fight was signed, I'm expecting Manny Pacquiao from 2012. I'm expecting young Manny Pacquiao. That's what I'm training for. And I believe Errol, that's who he's training for. Another thing that was talking about was how convenient it was for the eye injury to come this late in training camp. For most of you y'all not even athletes. You're not even an athlete to be saying that, 1. And 2, you've never been in or around a training camp. He didn't go to a doctor and say my eye hurt and I got a doctor's note. He went for a pre-fight checkup with the commission, and they made him aware of it, and they told him that he couldn't fight. He then went on his own dime and flew back from Vegas to Dallas to get his own 2nd and 3rd and 4th opinion to try to get somebody to see if they can change that fight schedule. Somebody who's trying to duck out of a fight is not doing that. They're not trying to get 2nd and 3rd and 4th opinions on an eye surgery. Then the last and final thing is, it's no telling how long he had that injury. That injury could have started off in the car accident that he had a few years ago. He could have had that injury, and then the training camps he had from the Danny Garcia fight, and then going to there and fighting Danny Garcia, and now going to training camp with this fight, it could have just made the injury worse over time. We don't know that. Errol could have had his injury. He could have been fighting through this injury since the car accident. He might have been keeping it under wraps and keeping it going public because he didn't want nobody to know about his eye issue. And it just so happened that now it just happened to get worse to the point where he failed a pre-fight screening. That is in no way, shape, or form the same thing as, like you said about Manny earlier, turning down a lipid-style drug testing for a fight because you're scared that if you lose blood, you're gonna lose your strength in the fight, or you're afraid of needles, or what was the other thing? I think it was a purse split or something, or you didn't agree with the purse split, even though Floyd was the A side. Those are reasons to duck a fight. Those are blatant, really blatant to me reasons on ducking the fight. You're not going to go to the extent of getting an eye surgery to duck a fight, especially if it's your largest payday.